Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleeds podcast. I'm Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. How are you today, sir?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm phenomenal because you brought Reese's.
That's right. I sure did.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Saw these the other day in the store and I was like, hey, never seen these before.
I also just realized I didn't finish the bottom half of my
Oh,
Reese's Santa from the other
there
day,
you
so I got a
go.
little something
There's
to
a
get
dessert.
into as well.
Okay, what we have this week is spring sprinkles big cup.
Are these? Is this a? Is this just Reese's Pieces in the big cup, like a
No,
Pieces big cup?
it says these are like candies, like these are sprinkles in shapes.
Stuffed with shaped sprinkles.
Yeah.
Can't really tell what the shapes are. I think the cup one looks like an egg. I guess the other thing
Whatever.
is a bunny, maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know, spring
All
stuff.
right. Spring. This is new. I love new. I
Yeah,
love new.
that's right.
Spring sprinkles. Adam coming through in the clutch. Um, so while we take a bite in this,
Hmm.
it snowed 11 inches at my house
Yeah.
on, was that Sunday night? Sunday into Monday?
Um,
I think it was started Sunday night, went into Monday.
yes, you're right.
Uh, 11 inches. All right.
Hmm.
A little bit of snow playing for us, a lot of shoveling. Walked to in the snow. My poor kids were freezing with their sleds and a shovel to my in-laws' house
Mm.
and helped shovel a little bit over there. But they got a nice little hill, so the kids were able to sled
Mhm.
ride. What'd you do, bud? What'd you do during the 2025 blizzard?
Yeah, it was like a winter storm that they had a name for, wasn't it?
No, yeah, Blaine. I think it was
Was it
Blaine.
Blair maybe?
Blair.
Blair.
That was it. Yeah. Oh, oh, that's different.
Yeah. Um, I didn't do much. I waited until it saw like I heard my neighbors outside throughout because it snowed for like almost 24 hours straight.
Oh, there's a lot of people shoveled multiple times, so they
Hmm.
didn't have to shovel a lot. They were trying to get out there constantly. I didn't do that. I did one time, and then I was like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah. That's exactly what I did. I waited until it was over. As a matter of fact, I called you or you called
Hmm.
me, somebody, and you were outside shoveling the snow,
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize because I was waiting till it was over. I was like, "Oh, is it over?" You're like, "Yeah." So I after I got off the phone with you, I went out and shoveled some snow, and it was a like a light snow, so it wasn't like a heavy like hard shovel,
Hmm.
but there was so much of it, it kind of still was.
Yeah, because you couldn't just usually that little light snow like that. Put your shovel on the ground and just push it all the way across.
Hmm.
No problem. Not this stuff.
Too much. There's
Just
just too
too
much of
much.
it. So anyway, I hurt my back shoveling like half my driveway.
Mhm.
And the big thing was I just wanted to get my steps taken care of so the mailman can get up there and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Um, but there was so much of it, man. And so now we have, so I waited. Luckily, I didn't have anywhere to go for like 3 days.
Right.
So I stayed in the house the whole time. And so I went out and did some shoveling. And then the next day, my dad calls me and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And we're talking. He's like, "Well, I just got done. He's got a snowblower, and
Nice.
he's like, I was outside using my snowblower for 4 hours,
I believe that.
doing his yard, his driveway and sidewalk, doing two of his neighbors' driveways and
Hmm.
sidewalks and stuff. So, I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, and he asked me if I had shoveled and all that. I'm like, well, just some of it. And
Hmm.
he's like, I'm getting ready to head out. I'll throw my snowblower in the back of the truck and come over and do the rest of your driveway. I'm like,
Let's
all
go.
right, I'll take it.
Especially the end of the driveway, the heavy stuff down there, that's hard to shovel.
Yeah. So, so he did. He came over, and so this is what happened. He's doing my driveway, right?
Hmm.
And my next door neighbor, who knows my dad very well, we've known
Hmm.
them for years and years. He comes over, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to make a little money?"
Hmm.
And because they're a little older, they're older than
Sure.
my dad,
Hmm.
and so anyway, so my dad's like, "Yeah, I'll get it, no
Hmm.
problem," So he goes over and does that while he's doing my next door neighbor's driveway. I'm doing a little bit of like shoveling in the back, some different spots that, didn't, just a little path from like
Yeah.
my garage to the like a little different part. Anyway, so my other next door neighbor is in her backyard getting ready to do some more shoveling. She had already shoveled half of her driveway the day before too.
Yeah. So it
And
wasn't as high as yours, but it was still high.
well, she had, yeah, she did the same thing I did. She just did like the front part of her
Mm.
driveway, still had, and her car was still kind of like buried in the
Mhm.
backyard. So we're talking for a couple minutes, and she's like, I'm getting ready to shovel again. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. So we talk, and I'm getting ready to walk away. I'm like,
Can't.
you gotta, well, I did. I was like, actually,
No, I mean, you can't just walk away.
oh, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. So I was like, yeah.
I think I was gonna say you can't shovel in
I didn't-
snow.
I thought you were gonna say like you can't just say yes to everybody because then you'll never stop doing everybody's stuff.
That's how I am. Like
Yeah, I know.
I shoveled the old lady a couple doors down most times, but her next door neighbor, another younger guy, had it done before I got out to do my second because
Oh, nice.
I was like, here we go, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna head over there and do hers,
Yeah.
and he had it done already, and I was like, let's go. Way to wait a little bit.
Yeah. Same thing. Like I have some elderly people across the street from me, and I was that first day I was outside shoveling my snow, and he came out and he had already shoveled a bunch of his driveway,
Mhm.
but he was like doing some stuff on his steps and everything. And we were talking for a few minutes, and I was like, man, thank God he's done enough of his
Mhm.
driveway already to get his car out and everything.
Mhm.
And so, because I was thinking I'm gonna have to go over and help this guy, and then there were other people all throughout the street outside shoveling their
Mhm.
driveways and digging their cars out and all that. And I'm like, all right, when I get done here, I'm gonna have to go help somebody.
If
And
you're under 60, I'm probably not gonna like volunteer myself, but you get into that, if you look older or you look like you're struggling, I'm gonna go, especially like two houses down. It's just an old lady that lives by herself.
yeah,
I'm gonna go down there and
yeah.
give you a hand.
So by the time I got done with just a little part of my driveway that first night, I was looking around at the people. I was like, my back's killing me. I'm so tired.
I'm going in the
I'm
house.
going in the house.
You got to take breaks.
Yeah.
You have to take breaks when you do it. Like
And it got dark and
Mhm.
everything. Yeah.
both my neighbors. So my one neighbor had already started when I came out the second time, and like he was like halfway down his driveway. So I'd be shoveling and I'd stop and I'd talk to him for a minute. And we'd stop and talk and get back again, stop and talk. And I was like, Danny, I apologize if this sounds ridiculous, these questions and things I'm talking about. I'm just trying to take little 5-minute breaks. He's like, you can take a 5-minute break without talking to me. And he's like, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean like you can talk to me. And I was like, I know what you mean. This
Message
good.
received,
Yeah.
buddy. Jeez.
So then he gets done and he's like, all right, bud, good luck. And I was like, yeah, well, all right, see it. And as he does that, my other neighbor came out and I was like, cool. And then I see him put his earbuds in under his hat. And I was like, man, I got nobody to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that first day I went inside after a while, I was like, I'm done, man. And then
It's hard on the back.
yeah. But it was nice. My dad brought a snowblower over and we got to help my neighbors and stuff like that. They were very grateful. And
There's a neighbor up the street that apparently was taking $20 from people. He had a big monster snowblower, and he was like, "I'll do the end of your drive. I just want to. I'll do the end of your driveway. Where the ice and the slush from the people come."
yep.
And he was just doing the big heavy stuff.
Mhm.
He's like, "I'm just gonna go around, just try to help everybody with this big heavy stuff." And he apparently knocked out like the whole top of the street.
Wow.
Never made it down the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Johnny Lammers drives down and he's like, "Hey, there's a guy up there. I just paid him $20 to do my father-in-law's the end of the driveway. Go catch him." And I'm like, I'm almost done.
Yeah. So anyway, yep, that was it. And then the schools are off most of the week, and they are
Yep.
again tomorrow. And
Yep.
yeah, so that's it.
All right, so let's rate this Reese's.
Yeah, let's do it. Yep.
So they're definitely like large sprinkles.
Mhm.
For sure, they're large sprinkles. There's no chocolate Reese's Pieces or anything like that. There's and it's a crunchy little fella.
Mhm.
I don't know what it reminds me of, but it's a good little. It's not bad. It's like a small sweet tart, but maybe it's not. But it's not sweet. I don't know, just a
not
little
tart.
small. No, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Not tart.
Yeah.
Just like a small piece of sugar you take a bite out of.
Mhm.
Not bad. It was different. That's a totally different texture than any other thing the Reese's we've had. I'm gonna go 9.7.
Okay.
I like that. That's a good one. That was a good one.
I I don't feel like I taste them very much. Like I
There's no
get the crunch.
flavor. You get the
Yeah,
crunch. Yeah, there's no
yeah,
real flavor to
yeah.
it.
So
That's what I mean. It's not like a sweet tart, but I feel like it's the size of those like mini little tiny things. They're
yeah,
not. You're right. Not sweet. They're not tart, is what they're not.
you said 9.7, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, yeah, I'll say 9.7 too, because
Yeah.
it's basically a big cup with some crunchy things in it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not peanuts or anything. It's like a.
It's a candy.
I'm sure if you isolated those, they would be so sweet,
Yeah.
but it's already so sweet that it's just kind of
Yeah. It's
masked.
in Reese's peanut butter.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So you might have some more. By the way, everything's getting canceled too.
Mm-hmm.
Practices and all kinds of things.
Mm,
Tomorrow.
yeah.
Well,
We'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I still got a baseball practice.
Every single basketball practice and game in the tri-state area has been canceled.
Mhm.
Chris is gonna have baseball practice though. Probably a
Listen,
double practice actually.
our baseball team is not played for a school. I don't have to do things based on what the school does. If the facility is open
Yeah.
and somebody wants to go, I got four-wheel drive in the truck. I'll be there.
I picture you driving down a really snowy street with 10 12-year-olds
In
in
the
your
truck.
in the back of your truck.
Mm-hmm. Come on, boys. Let's go hit.
That's funny. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah. I had three things kind of all happening scheduled tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to choose between all of them. So I was not going to be able to make two of them. Within a half hour today, all three got
Oh,
canceled.
did they really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I went from having too much to do to be able to make it all to nothing.
I assume Saturday is still open.
As far as I know, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but yes.
Have they sold out of tickets yet?
I don't think so. He didn't say. So we had our in class.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the stage doing my set yesterday.
So just to let everybody know, Adam is opening for Sam Morril on Saturday night at the Funny Bone. That 100%. Are you going on before Sam Morril? Is Sam Morril going on stage Saturday night at the Funny Bone in Westchester? Is he going on Saturday night at the Funny Bone in Westchester?
That's in Liberty.
Whatever. Liberty. I'm sorry. Same thing in my head.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. And are you going on before that on Saturday?
Earlier in the day on a different show, yes.
So you're opening for Sam Morril.
Okay. So I'm opening for Sam Morril on Saturday. And anyway, we had our first in-person class yesterday.
Okay, so you got to meet everybody you've been watching on the faces.
That's right.
Mhm.
Got on the stage with the microphone, the lights, and everything, and did the set in front of the class.
Mhm.
And then everybody got their critiques and everything from the instructor, and so that
You guys only did it once? Everybody just did it once?
yes, yeah, there are some people who are not even close to being ready, but we'll see. Hopefully, everybody's in good shape by Saturday, and they're actually doing the Dayton show tonight as we speak.
Oh, okay.
Or it's over by now, but yeah. So anyway, yes, did that last night. Saturday, as far as I know, is still going on.
Nice.
And Sunday, it better be clear because I am not. We can't cancel another basketball thing. We can't practice. We're getting all of our practices canceled. We can't get better.
But here's the thing. It's happening to everybody.
I know.
And that's what I tell myself, look, it's everybody. If somebody comes out and beats you right now, they're going to beat you if they had the same amount of prep as you did. Or I should say, they've had the same amount of prep as you had right now. Whether they beat you, if they beat you, they beat you.
Maybe because we got canceled tonight because they have league games going on in our gym.
Oh, so there is people that could have played tonight.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm sure everybody will be canceled tomorrow, and hopefully everything's okay enough by Saturday to leave everything, basketball, comedy, whatever, everything back open. But
you want to hear what my Saturday is?
Yeah,
You want to hear this?
I do.
So you have basketball in the morning, I assume?
No,
you have
we
no
don't have
basketball
any
Saturday.
game Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, and then you have so all you have is that Saturday night. my Saturday. So let's see here. Go to the old calendar. So you see there's dots for everything that we have going on,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The most dots are 100% on the 11th.
That's a lot of dots.
It's a lot of dots. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Seating competition for dance for
Nice.
the girls. They have to be there at 6:50 in the morning. They have to wake up at 4:30 to do hair and makeup and everything and get ready because Aaron's got to get two of them ready. So they will be up at 4:30 a.m.
You don't have to say anything else for the
Yeah.
rest of the day.
So,
That's
all right.
crazy.
Parker has a basketball game at Three Rivers at noon. You have your funny bone thing at 3. Parker has a flag football game at 3:45, and the girls have a basketball game at 4 o'clock. After this long competition day, they got to play basketball 4 o'clock.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, yeah, it's a day, bud. We
Wow.
got a day ahead of us.
That's a big day.
I don't know how we're gonna manage all of it, but we're gonna, we got a couple cars. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Man, okay.
So anyway, crazy day on Saturday.
Yeah.
But some of it may not happen.
I was gonna say
I
that.
could see them canceling basketball. They will not cancel the seating competition. I mean, we went to go after practice. First off, dance is crazy. Dance people are nuts. The dance coach has a son on my basketball team. She's awesome. She's awesome. And we got to sit there and watch them do their routine after their practice yesterday. And oh boy, they're not allowed talking during the competition, but they like three of them kneel down in front of them and like, they're like kind of helping them like stick their hands out like, oh, over here, kind of
Yeah.
help guide.
Yep.
Oh boy, during practice, there is yelling going on. Point your toes, point your toe, two, this is you, 3, 7, 5, 2. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. This is crazy. They are serious. So they get done and they're like, look, here's the deal. I'm just going to tell you this. I know we're getting snow Friday. There's no need to ask questions. This competition is going to happen. They make too much money. They will have this competition on Friday. The only way it doesn't happen is if we got what happened on Sunday night, 11 inches of snow. Anything less than 10 or 11 inches, plan on being there. And I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Man.
Plan accordingly.
Well, okay. It's supposed to snow a good deal on Friday afternoon. So yeah, I
Mhm.
guess hopefully it'll be hopefully they'll be on the road, salting them and all that good business.
The problem is Cincinnati doesn't get clear. Like for us to get where we got to go is, and we'll have to take. I'm not going to take the back roads I usually would to get to Seton. I'll have to like go Rapid Run to West Eighth, like take real roads
Yeah.
instead of going through, you know, Trenton and all that stuff because they just don't get to them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, crazy, dude. Dance is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. They're like when you pin your hat to the dancer. Okay, you got to pin a little tiny hat. It's a little like 3-inch circle, but you got to put it bobby pins into their
Oh,
head.
okay. I
Not
thought
pin.
that was like a term for
No,
some kind of
yep,
move or something.
no. When you put the bobby pins in, said there's 5 little clips on it. Don't put 5 bobby pins in their hair. Put 5 bobby pins in each clip. It cannot move. We will lose points if a hat is jiggling. I'm like, this is crazy. They got fake eyelashes they got to put on. I
I
told you
know.
that. We've talked
It's
about this before.
Yeah, the girls, yeah, it's because my niece is really into dance too,
Oh,
and it's
dude, it's crazy.
all the makeup they wear
It's
at
in,
like 8, 9 years old.
I can't. It's insane. So we have uh there are there's a team snap, right? You heard of team snap?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like a group me or whatever, but you put your schedule on there. It's got a little team chat in it.
Yep.
And so there's 2 teams that are on this. There's a total of 70 kids between the 2 teams. So that's, probably 140 parents.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Little girls dance moms ask the dumbest stuff you've ever heard in your life. I'm not going to say too much more than that because I got to be careful. I don't want to. I would tell you every. I got no problem telling you what they said. It's. I'll tell you off camera what I was gonna say before, but they'll say like the one will go, "Hey, this is my first time being a mom at dance. Does anybody have a tip for me on where to park at Seton?" That's a legit question. I get that.
Mhm.
The next 13
Oh,
messages are this.
the parking
No,
garage, by the
no,
way.
no. Well, yeah, exactly. The next 13 messages are, well, because she's trying to figure out how to get closest to the dressing room. I get that. I get the question. It's
Yeah.
not a bad question. But the next 13 responses are, yeah, this is my first time in dance too. This is our first time in dance. Oh, it's our first time too. It's our first time. Yeah, there's a ton of you the first time because it's the youngest age of girls that can dance. That's the other team. Well, why are you filling this chat letting us know it's your first time in dance? Nobody cares. That person asked a legit question. By the time anybody got to read that question, it was gone.
Yeah.
It's a mile up in the chat. Nobody else, everybody that knows, like people that have been doing it for a while, dude, I'll look down at that chat. There'll be 20 messages, and that's not saying anything. I'm serious. I think the next question is going to be, hey, can you guys teach me how to wipe my butt? Should we?
The next question from
Yeah.
somebody is going to be, "Can you take me out of this chat room?"
Dude, I send. Oh, no, I don't. I don't give a shit. I send side messages,
Yeah.
tons of side messages as they come out. Now it's to the point where this one couple of the moms and dads will text Aaron and go, What's Chris saying right now?" Like it'll be 9:30 at night, and the one mom the one time this thing's going off, and I'm on my phone. I'm like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me right now?" What? Aaron, can I say something? Please let me say something. And Aaron's like, no, no. And she goes, but Sandy literally just texted me and said, what's Chris saying right now? Love that. Dude, this one lady. So the doors are locked. You can't go into the dance while they're dancing. You can't go into practice. Doors are locked.
Yeah.
Always locked. Everybody knows that. Dance for the younger girls is over at like 7 o'clock, I want to say. It's like 5:30 to 7. And then the other team comes in from 7 to 8:30.
Must be nice to have an hour and a half for practice.
I get an hour and a half for practice twice a week with my girls' third grade basketball team.
Can I buy some time from you?
I know. So anyway, you can have the other half on the day that I have the gym to myself. There's only 2 baskets in that gym though.
Oh.
It's a little grade school gym.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll
no.
take an extra basket for an extra day.
So anyway, there's a message that goes out. It's starting to get cold, right? Like they start doing this like in October or November. I don't know. It's like getting into cold season. It's 8:31 is the time of the message. So these people get out of their car at 8:25 and go stand by the door and wait for it. Whatever, I get it. And then they unlock the door and they make sure everybody's got a parent, blah, blah, blah. The kids get out. But everybody gets out of their car way early and just stands by the door. I get that. Maybe you want to have a conversation. You see people there. You do. It's cold now. Okay.
Mhm.
They always go a little bit over. Always. It's just like with me with baseball. I'm going to go a little bit over, right? It is what it is.
Yeah.
If nobody's practicing after me, count on being there until it's dark. So there's a message that pops up at 8:31.
Oh God.
Is practice ending at 8:30? It's kind of cold out here. Oh my God. Oh, my fingers are on fire trying to hold myself back from responding. Sit in your car and wait until you're 4 feet away from the door. You'll see the coach open it. It'll be all right. So God love these coaches. Ooh, that'd been hard for me, but that'd have been a hard one for me. And it's and if it's people I don't know, I would probably have done the same thing. But it was, hey, sometimes practice is going to go longer. As it gets colder, just wait in your car until we unlock the doors. Great job. Beautiful job. Forget that. Why is there dumb stuff? Why are we saying, and that's, dude, it's every single day there's crazy stuff like that. Insane stuff. So yesterday, this is great. So it's cold. It's 11 degrees yesterday at 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
We got there at 8:20 because they said be there 10 minutes early to watch the girls do their routine because it's their first competition of the year. There's a lot of new dancers, and we'll answer any questions about about the competition for afterwards.
Mhm.
So me and Aaron go up there. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch them because Parker plays basketball, so I may not be able to watch them. I was like, I want to go watch them do their little practice routine. Go up there, and we get there like 8:15 and sit in the car because it's 11 degrees outside. 8:19. One person goes to the door, tries to open the door. I watch her walk by, and Aaron goes, "Can you believe this?" I was like, "I bet she tries to open the door. I bet she tries to open it. Everybody knows the door's locked. I bet she tries." Oh, tries to open it, turns around, looks at the parking lot, and is shivering next to the door. It's Delshire's gym. Like, nobody's gonna have a place to sit. Like, well, you're not getting a great seat if you get there, right? We're all gonna stand against the wall, single file. Doesn't matter if you're over there, or over here. All of a sudden, as soon as people saw her get out of her car, they just start following. Like they just start following this little thing, like mice or ants or not mice, ants, right? One goes this way, the next one goes this way, and it's like, oh, just blindly follow wherever. And they're out there shivering, shivering, shivering.
For at least 10 minutes.
There's another car next to us with a mom I know, and Aaron's looking over, waiting for her to look at her. She looks over, and Aaron's like, "What are they doing?" And this girl just starts cracking up in her car. What are they? I am 100 feet from that door. What are you all doing? And dude, I'm telling you, almost all of them sat there. Guess what time the door opened? 8:25. Y'all sat out there for 6 minutes in the 11 degree weather,
Oh,
freezing.
earlier. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was weird. Yeah,
That's right.
but it's like, dude, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's
Now I'm gonna continue this, and I apologize going off on tangents because
no,
nobody cares about dance.
fine.
Just stupid people. That's stupid people. This is not a stupid person. This is the coach who's got a kid on my team. We played basketball last night, lost by one. We were up by two with 30 seconds to go, and it went to it just they hit a three. Anyway, doesn't matter. So that game was at 5, so it was over around 6. And actually, it was at 6. Got over around 7. Got home around 7:30. Right. I text the assistant coach, and I'm like, man, I'm still kind of frustrated about that game, man. I'm not fresh. I'm bummed. I'm still really bummed about that game. And so we're driving to the thing, and his daughter's on the dance team. So we're going to the game, or we're going to that practice. And they finally let everybody in, and we all single file walk in. And it's a loud gym. But in loud gyms, when everybody's quiet, whoever's talking becomes way louder. Oh, Chris, did we win? Everybody turns and looks at me because the head coach that everybody's like half scared, not scared of, but like that's the boss, right? She's the boss. Everybody looks at me, and I'm like, we're up by 2 with 30 seconds left, and they hit a three. It was the only three they hit all game. They bricked 4 or 5 of them and made that one. We lost by 1. She's like, oh. And I look down, and my buddy takes like a sword or like a fake sword and sticks it into his heart and twists it. And I was like, exactly. Hey, guy that's really frustrated and bummed out right now.
Yeah.
Hey, let me call you out in front of 70 people you don't know.
My nightmare. Nightmare.
Oh, I'm like, no, we lost. Sucked.
Oh God, that's
Yeah.
that's a
Called
bad
out.
situation.
Bad time. Anyway, dance sucks. It does. The girls love it, so I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I go to everything I can. I love it. I try to help them at home, right? I want to learn their dance with them. I get jiggy with it. It's not a lot of fun when it gets to be the competition and all that, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's yeah.
The entire time you were talking about dance, I couldn't stop thinking about the
Everything but dance.
no, no. I listened to everything you said, but
I've
the
blacked out for the last 20 minutes.
no. I just kept thinking about the Will Ferrell episode of Between Two Ferns where he talks about he's a coach of a like a kids dance team. He's like a lot of energy, a lot of movement, a lot of high fives.
You weren't listening to me, were you? Why am I even on this podcast if you're not going to listen to the thing I said? I said a lot of energy, a lot of movement, and a lot of high fives.
Get the fat out of your ears. No, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, we got plenty of that to do.
That's I also you were making me think of in this comedy class I've been taking, some of the kind of similar sort of things, like
Mm-hmm.
especially to the text thread. We don't have a text thread, but on the classes on the Zoom calls every week, it was like some of the stuff he would say three classes in a row about a specific thing he wants us to do. And the next time we would come in and people would act like they've never heard of it before,
Oh,
they just decided to do something else other
uh,
than what he said. I'm like, what? People really operate like this?
dude,
Like, what?
it's more people than you think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, it's more people than you think. That's not like I got another story of a dumb
Go ahead.
thing that got put in that chat. I can't help it. These people are crazy. It's no, I'm not gonna bore the world with dumb people. No, you know
It's
what?
okay.
Here's a dumb person. All right. Now I don't want to say dumb person.
It's not a dumb part. It's just people that are
Like
not like us.
here's the deal. We got 70 people in this chat, first off. And the coach has already
Wow.
said, I don't put anything in the chat like important. I email it because it'll be lost. Instantly, it'll be gone. It'll be totally lost. And oh my God, there's so many dumb things. So I get that, right? That's a smart move. So this lady gets on. So apparently they get in this one competition for the last 3 years they've been in it. They didn't do it this year. They got into a different one instead, which is later on.
Mm.
And this lady gets on Saturday morning. Has anybody else been staring at their calendar thinking that we should be at the Mount Notre Dame competition today? Because isn't that usually what we always do? Dot, 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 enter. So it makes a little space. Coaches, I don't mean to sound weird, but is there a reason why we didn't get in that competition? Does what that's not a group chat thing, number
Yeah.
one. Nobody gives it. Nobody, dude, no, it was crickets. Like that was too far. Like girl, that was too far. Nope. Questioning the coaches right now. Are you serious? Jeez, oh please. I'm like, if somebody would say that in my baseball, I'd be like, because I decided to play in a different tournament. Don't what are you like it she called him out.
Mm.
Called him out. It felt like a call out.
Did it?
Felt like a call out. So when I saw the coach, she's also the secretary of our board for baseball,
Oh.
and we got on a little Zoom call for the board. And as soon as it popped up, I said, "Hey, Katie, man, it's messed up, man. I feel like we totally missed out on the Mount Notre Dame competition. What happened?" And she just rolled her eyes at me, and there was more said after that, but we had a good laugh.
Oh my God.
Dude, like you got to be kidding me with these things. We've only got one parent like that in our baseball chat, and everybody just ignores it.
Mm. Yeah, that's
I'm
it's
sorry.
very interesting.
So
It's
ridiculous.
I no,
It's a
I'm thinking
off in the middle of nothing on that.
I feel lucky because our parent group chat for basketball is people have, made little jokes and stuff
Hmm.
here and there, but they're pretty good about
Yeah.
not
Dude,
blowing it up.
my baseball chat gets blown up. I've been upset before because I'll put something important in there and then like if it's somebody's birthday, everybody's got to say happy birthday to them. I'm like, "Nobody and I couple of them know I get pissed and I'll get a side text like, "Aren't you so happy it's their birthday or whatever?" It's like it's their 3-year-old's birthday. Like nobody like it's all good. You're
Not
not even
even
saying happy
somebody on
birthday.
the team.
Yeah, not even a kid on the team or a parent from the oh they tell everyone happy birthday. Doesn't matter. That's cool. I love it because it feels like a little family. That's great, right?
Sure.
That's good. It's a little text group. But I'm with her. I feel like I can't put anything important in there. Tons of time I've put something in and there's a million responses and then I just re-put it in there again just in case nobody saw it. I'll count the likes on it to see if all the parent if there's at least one parent from every kid.
Yeah.
If not, I put that some big back head down in there. If somebody y'all better figure this out.
When sorry, go ahead.
No.
When our head coach puts something important, like, he's been doing like, this is what we have this week. And
Mm-hmm.
like, all the practices, all the games, when they are, where they are. And, and the other day, he's like, you and this one kid's dad are the only ones who even acknowledge when I put anything
Yeah.
in there.
Like it's for me, it's important to put a little thumbs up on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a text group, so if there's an Android, then it pops up on some phones that says so and so like so and so like so and so like. But like on our team snap, you just hit the little thumbs up button, or you can hit a baseball button, or you can hit a like or heart, any of that. I don't care. And then I can press on it and it tells me who did what.
Hmm.
That's all. And it doesn't take up a whole bunch more. Yeah, like I need to know that everybody saw this.
Yeah.
I need to know that you all saw it. So I'll say, please thumbs up this, blah, 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 blah. And so I know you got it.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a game last week that we had a kid not show up, and we found out that he was at like Perfect North skiing or something like that. And after the game, I think the mom text everybody in the thread. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't. That's totally my fault. I
Bro,
did. I
wait a minute.
complete because it was a
Owen's in eighth grade.
no, no.
Oh,
This is a game.
you sure?
No,
It
look,
wasn't my sister?
it was not your sister.
Wow. I feel like I've heard that exact story multiple times.
No, this was we had a game on a Thursday night, which was odd,
Sure.
but we normally have practice on Thursday night
So
anyway.
you're doing
So
something
he would have he would have missed practice too. Anyway, but that's I just said that because Jared
because it
puts
got lost.
yeah.
Probably got lost.
Well,
Well, no, if
I
you
don't know,
it's not very active in that thing.
but yeah, I mean he put it all in there, and somebody was like, "Oh, I didn't."
Like our basketball team, like I've coached some of them in basketball before, and maybe in a few of them in baseball. Uh, but it's like our baseball chat. It's like you'd think they were all brothers and sisters and cousins and everything. It's the way they talk. But in that, it's like put something in there. It ain't nothing but my stuff. Ain't nobody says nothing. Nobody says a word in it. Nobody says a word, which is totally fine. I'm cool with that. Cool with that. Send me a side message.
So last weekend we had 5 games. That Thursday game was the first one. And then we had 2 Friday and 2 Saturday. No,
Yeah.
2 Saturday and 2 Sunday.
Okay.
2 Friday and 2 Saturday, I think.
Okay.
It was. It was 2 Friday, 2 Saturday.
Okay.
So 5 games total starting on Thursday. So there's a tournament that we got in, and it's out in Glendale,
Oh, okay.
Bethany. Bethany
Man, I
School.
feel like you told me that you were playing in something called Bethany.
Yes. So we go out there and find the gym, and so we're in there, we're playing, and we're playing a team from not
Mm-hmm.
the West Side.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's not Saint whatever, I just
Mm-hmm.
don't know them unless it's an Oak Hills team.
Mm-hmm.
So we're playing this game. So I realize right after they did the jump ball, or right as they did the jump ball, we got one official out there. Like, do we only have one official for this game? About maybe 45 seconds into the game, all of a sudden I see a second official run down the floor. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Guy was late. All right." This was a Thursday at no, this was Friday at 4:15.
Well,
Okay.
sheezel Pete, sure, I get
So
that. Yeah.
they should not have a game on a weekday that early.
No, because the kids are off school, sure. But if you're having you can have practice or
What?
something, but a
Were
game,
they might not have even been off school on
yeah,
last Friday.
yeah, that was
Were
still
they?
Christmas break.
Okay,
That
maybe
was
it
New
was
Year's was on
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. So anyway, but either way, parents still work,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this guy's late, whatever, for whatever reason. And then, so we don't know these officials, but
Mm-mm.
every other game you're playing on the West Side, you know all the officials.
Yep, absolutely.
You know some of the other coaches and all that kind of stuff. So we don't know these officials. We don't know this other team or any of that stuff. So, some one official's calling nothing, the other official's kind of calling everything, but also a little inconsistent with that.
Sure.
And so it's kind of like, so anyway, our head coach was like, you know, kind of like, come on, guys, that's a foul. Just
Mm-hmm.
he mostly just says that's a foul or call the foul. He just
Right.
kind of blurts that out, and
Sure.
that's the way he
Sure.
communicates with the officials. And so
We all have our ways.
we all have our ways, but that's all he does, And he's just like, come on. If it gets like really crazy, he'll be like, guys, come on, what's going on here, guy?
Mm-hmm.
But mostly it's just call the foul or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and that's it. So the very, very first thing he said the whole game, the one referee was like, he didn't do it. He's like argumentative right away, right?
Oh boy.
So he's
Mm.
an explanation
Yeah.
in a tone that he's
Mhm.
aggravated already. So, and even after the game, especially, I'm like, if I'm this guy, I know I'm late to this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stressing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what he was going through earlier that
Trying
day?
to get
Maybe,
there.
yeah,
Yep.
maybe work was terrible or whatever. But that guy brought something in there from outside.
Oh boy.
And
Oh
so,
boy.
so he, so it's the game's going on and it's close and it's kind of intense and all that kind of stuff. But the officiating is kind of all over the place. And so we're like, oh my God. And we're a bigger team than almost everybody we play. So we get a lot
Less.
of rebounds
Sure.
because we're bigger,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's a lot of contact on rebounds and stuff. Um, so that was happening a lot. And it's the fourth quarter, getting toward the end of the game. And there's a play. And by the way, our parents, we have issues with a few dads.
Sure.
Okay,
Yep. Getting
they're
loud. Mm-hmm.
they're yelling at the officials, and they're also yelling at their kids, at our kids. They're trying to
That's
coach.
that
They're
might
trying to
be
coach.
worse.
It is worse, but they're not supposed to say anything. Be positive for your kids, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't all do that. So they're all yelling at the official. Our head coach is voicing his disapproval. And so this guy, every single time somebody has anything to say, there's no discussion. There's no, it's just he's already in a bad mood, so
Yep.
it's a problem. So then late in the game, he comes down and we get like two or three offensive rebounds in a row. And we are getting hammered on every single one. And there's one that our big kid gets a rebound. One kid hits him in the head as he gets the rebound. The other kid hits him in the arm. So he gets fouled by two different kids on the same rebound,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to go back up with it, gets hit again, and we're like, "Oh my God." So so our head coach is like, "Guys, come on, you got to call it." And that official that had the problem the whole time is standing right in front. I'm sitting on the bench keeping the book, all right? Also coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And he says something back to Jared again. And I'm like, oh, this is getting out of hand. And I'm like, no, no. I'm like, it was that guy is like, he's like taking all the,
All the brunt of
yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, no,
He's not.
it's that guy. He missed the one on the, he missed the one on the rebound. That's exactly what I said.
You got teed up?
Turns around, boom. Looks right. He's this close to me.
Are you serious?
That's it. Yeah, technical.
You got a tee?
Only thing the first I've been coaching like 20 years. The first technical I've gotten in my whole life. I was sitting on the bench. I was trying to say
That is
it was that guy's problem. I mean, I was upset too.
Of course.
But I was like, no, it's that guy. He missed the one or whatever. So I'm sure I'm probably not totally. I shouldn't have said anything because you're not technically you're not supposed to
say yeah. But usually there's a little bit of a hey, you're on the bench.
Yeah.
Tell your assistant he can't talk. Tell your assistant he's done.
You're supposed to give a warning
Mhm.
before you give a tech. There was no warning. He didn't look at me. He didn't speak to me before that at all. I said the very first thing I said to the officials out loud all game, and he turns and gives me a tech. And I was the nicest of anybody yelling at him.
Wow.
And I was like, I just stared at him with my mouth open, like,
Did that just happen?
dude, I think we were I want to say we were up two. No, we were down two with it was like a minute 14 in the game when he gave me that tech.
Oh,
Yep.
are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm not kidding you. So
Ah.
they made one of the free throws, went up three, and then
By the way, when kids see the score differential of 3, it is the worst thing that could happen to grade school kids
yeah. Yep.
because that means they need to hit a 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, we have two or three kids that want to shoot threes all the time.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I cannot believe this. I was just like so beside. I'm like, I looked at Jared. I'm like, and he's like, what did he say? He's like, he didn't. And I told him exactly what I said. He's like, he wasn't even talking to you. What are you talking? You can't give him a technical for that. And that guy's just like, he said something
That
to me like, no, he said, he's not supposed to say a word. He's supposed to just keep the book and sit down or something like that. I didn't stand up when I said anything. I didn't really even raise my
and
voice.
he said,
I didn't curse. I didn't do anything that deserved a technical at all. And he gave me one at the end of a really close game for these seventh
"Oh
graders
my
in a tournament.
god."
And so I was, like, I mean, this is, I, I mean, I take the responsibility for saying
Absolutely.
something,
Sure, sure.
but this guy took away this game from these seventh graders. Like, he was just out. He was just like so laser focused on anybody saying
Yep.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got somebody else's technical. That's what I kept
Yeah.
telling people. I'm like,
Yep.
I got somebody else's technical. Because I
Could have been
really did.
Jared's. Could have been
I could have
Jared's.
been Jared's. He even said, he's like, I'm the one that was all over him. He's like,
Yeah.
anyway. So I got my
Wow.
first technical of my life, and then I was also really upset because we're playing. So once in a while in these tournaments, they have different rules for things or whatever. Yeah, rolling your eyes. You've been through this, I'm sure.
So stupid.
So and I don't know that. So we do the five fouls, 2 shots on 5 fouls, right?
Right, right. Six
So
minute quarters or seven, whatever it is, 6 or 7 minute
yeah, I
quarters.
think it's 6.
Stop and go.
Yes. So they get to, this is in the fourth quarter. They get to 5 team fouls, the other team. Nobody, there's an official score. It might be the other teams, but he was at the,
No, in the tournament they have to have.
yeah. So they
Well,
get,
I say have to,
yeah.
but every tournament I've ever played in, there is someone keeping the official score for the tournament.
And there was a guy at the scorer's table, sitting at the scorer's table next to the clock keeper, keeping a book. So the clock keeper didn't say anything because they had garbage scoreboards that didn't have team
Mhm.
fouls or anything. And so the officials didn't know how many there were. The clock keeper didn't know how many there were. So I stood up because I'm keeping the book. I'm like, that's 5 fouls on them, and nobody was paying. I stood up and like walked over to the table. I'm like, that's 5 fouls. You guys got 5 fouls, and the score or the clock guy, he looks at me. He's like, no, it's 7. I'm like, oh, it's 7 in the tournament. Yeah, it's 7. Okay.
So that's for half then. That's for a half. That's not a quarter. If it goes to 7, then it's the only thing I've ever heard is 5 and 2 shots
Yeah.
or 7 and it's 1 and 1.
Mhm.
10 is the bonus, and that's a half. That's for
Yeah,
the half.
that's
That's the
what it
only
used to be. Yeah.
that's the only thing that's the only 2 ways I've ever heard it.
Yeah. So 7 fouls apparently. Okay.
For 2 shots. Did they ever get to 7
I
fouls?
guess. Well, yeah, because so then a little bit like at the end of the game, and that was my fault too. I didn't pay attention. We only had one. We were down 2 or 3 or whatever, and we only had one team foul. We should have started fouling earlier,
Sure.
especially if we have to get to 7.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mentioned something about fouling a little earlier, and
Mhm.
we didn't, and then we started fouling way too late.
And you had no chance at that point.
And so yeah, so we start fouling. We get to 5 fouls. Bookkeeper goes, "That's 5
What?
bonus." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, wait!" And then this is after I got my technical.
Oh boy.
but
Oh
but
boy.
I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, wait a minute." I stood up just to like talk, just to figure
Yeah.
it out with the. I wasn't even speaking to the official.
Of course not.
But and I went to Jared too. I'm like, hold on. That's I thought we were playing 7. And so they stopped the game. It took 5 minutes. The officials came over, talked to the guys at the table, and then he's like, "All right, we're just gonna play. They made a mistake before. We're just gonna play 7 fouls." And Jared's like, "Are you kidding me?
That's
Now that we're trying to foul to get them on the line, like we should."
now I gotta have 2 more fouls.
By the way, we should have been shooting on 2, or at least one. Yeah, I think on 2 fouls. We should have been shooting free throws, and we didn't. So I mean, we could have been tied or up by 1 or something by that point if we made our free throws. We shoot about, I don't know, 9% free throws on the year.
But hey,
as a
you
team.
never know.
But
You never know.
so we got like, this tournament is so garbage. The Bethany tournament is so garbage.
Wow. How crazy is that?
It's I'm like,
And they said, oh, actually, now it's the end of the game. We'll go to 7. There's 30 seconds left. You got to get 2 more fouls now.
yes.
Like, what?
So we get our 7th foul with like 3 seconds left or something, and they're up 3 or 4 or whatever. And I'm like, or they're up 4 or 5 by that point, actually.
I'd have been like, no, let's just, at this point in time,
Yeah.
you've already screwed up. I need them to be shooting. So if you say, let's do it, let's do it.
Can we get our 4 free throws that you didn't give us earlier?
Exactly.
Anyway, so I was really, 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 really disappointed in the way the tournament was run.
So part of that, a big part of that is not having a coaches meeting before the game. I've had one official that before the game started, I walk over to the middle and, just like, all right, let's go through everything real quick. Cause that's what every game I've ever played in does. Every baseball game, every basketball game I've ever been a part of, they call coaches to the middle. Last year, the head coach would talk in the huddle and I would go over to the little coaches meeting and I'd let him know if there was something that was going on. Right. That's how we kind of had our little thing that we worked out. It's just how it worked. I was like, you want to go get it? Took everyone. Baseball, I always go take the umpires meeting, but it's always goes over. It's all right. So we got running 20-minute running clock. We got, no press after 20 points. Clock stops under 2 minutes. And the second half, 7's 1-1. 10. Well, we play half, so that's just how it goes. But then you go to the Catholic tournaments, and then I make sure to ask because it's not the same for us. I'm like, how many timeouts do I get again? Because it's different. I get 4 timeouts in the other one in our regular league, but we get 5 timeouts in the Catholic tournaments.
Yep.
So I'm like, how many timeouts is it again? 4 or 5? And in our league, I do the same thing. I'm like, I get 5 or 4, and they're like 4 timeouts. All right, thank you. But those are the things that are gone over every single game beforehand. But apparently, if you don't have a referee, then you don't go over those things.
The very first weekend we had games, we were in a tournament out on the east side, and I was keeping the book, and late in the game, we called a timeout, and then after the timeout, I checked. We got 1 left, right? Nope, you guys are out. What do you mean? What? We took 4, right? Yeah, you only get 4. I looked at Jared. I'm like, I thought we got. He's like, yeah, I thought we were supposed to be playing WBC rules. Like, I thought we had 5 too, so we didn't have a timeout at the end of the game.
I'm constantly asking how many timeouts I have. I ask, that makes me more nervous than anything in the world. And there are some really good referees that when it gets late in a game, they'll come over to the huddle and they'll be like, hey, man, you got 2 left. Or, hey, man, you got 1 left. I love those guys.
Yeah.
Love them. In fact, is it Seg's son? He's starting to bald a little bit. Who's that guy? Who is that kid that's reffing these days? It's not Sager's son. It's a younger kid. I can't remember where I know him from, but I talk to him every time. He's young. He's probably just a couple years younger than me. I probably just know him from Elder.
Okay.
Anyway, I talk to him all the time. We act like we know each other, even though whatever. And he does the Catholic tournament. I only have him in Catholic tournaments. So he doesn't do any of our league games. Okay. So he had our game the other day. And I'm, before the game, what up, dude? How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. He's like, hey, man, what's up? Talking to him. And this is what I love about referees. I feel like you should be able to do this. I'm like, seriously? That's not a foul? I said, that 6'2" 6th grader just fell. That's 200 pounds, just fell on his own. Forward after a rebound. 6B, man, that's what happens. Kids fall. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then something else happened. And he goes, oh, you mean the time where the kid jumped up and hit the ball out and never touched him? And I'm like, seriously? Are you serious? I'm like, come on. And then he started getting not irritated, but he's kind of going back at me as he's backing up down the court, telling me like I'm crazy for what I was saying. Call a timeout at the end of the game, walks over. Hey, bub, you got 1 left. All right, man. Because we don't have to have animosity, right? We don't have to have it. There's no reason. He kind of not chirped back at me, but we had a little moment because most of the time it was laughing. And then all of a sudden it got like, all right, now I feel like that's definitely like, you got to call that. Mm-hmm. And then the one I'm like, you can call that from here, even though that's his call. You're allowed to. You see it clearly, right? You can call it. And he's like, he just turns around. And
he's like, you're telling me how to officiate.
I know, exactly. And I get it. Because I don't know if you can or not. I don't know how that works. I don't know. But I'm like, we clearly see from right here that dude got smoked.
Yeah.
And you don't call that. Yeah. And so he's, probably a little irritated because I started getting but the game was intense. It was a close game all game.
Sure.
But at the end, he's got a smile on his face. Hey, bud, you got one left. All right, man. Comes into the huddle. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Absolutely. Yep.
There's so many refs out there that just get.
I know.
I try to become the best friends with those guys. Those are the ones I try to get the best friends.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the old man that almost tried to look like he was going to come beat me up, the referee?
I
I didn't
know.
tell you about this? Oh, man. So, close game. We're playing Kings. And we end up winning a really close game. I think we won by 1 or 2. And the referees are terrible. It's one dude named Ralph, looks like Elvis, like he's got this Elvis Buffon haircut. And this other dude is just old as dirt. He's old as dirt. They can't, neither of them can hear. No, Spud, that was the other referee, not Ralph. Anyway, do you know Spud, that bald guy looks like he's got spots all over his head?
I think so.
Skinny, tall, skinny guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
He's a teacher at Oak Hills.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And neither of them can hear. They're both deaf. We're screaming at these guys, like me and the other coach, screaming timeout or all these other things. And they're starting to get frustrated because at first they didn't call anything. Like, we're beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, because I got some rough kids on the team that if they get hit, they're going to turn around and throw somebody if they can.
Yeah.
So I got to calm these kids down. I got one of the nicest kids in the entire world. Okay. We're in the press. They get trapped. They throw it up towards half court along the sideline.
Okay.
And his job, like we tell him, if you can get a hand on it, go get it, but you better get a hand on it. So he sprints over, jumps in the air, hits the ball, and then just levels the kid that the ball was going to. It's a foul.
Yeah.
It's a foul. He clearly had his eye on the ball the whole time. He never lowered a shoulder. He actually went down, helped the kid up, and apologized to him in that time and had a smile on his face like, I'm sorry, buddy, okay? Picked him up. Nicest kid you'll ever meet in your entire life. Referee running over. You have got to get him out now. He needs to sit down now. I said, whoa, hold on. I said, I already got somebody up here that was taking him out anyway. I said, first off, nicest kid on the court, just helped him up, apologized. I'm telling you that right now. I said, maybe he's a football player. He just got his eyes on the ball, went and got it. Doesn't have the best body control. He's 11. Mm-hmm. And I said it like that. And he's like, he needs to sit. So Connor comes walking over to me. And he goes, I didn't mean to hit him. I said, buddy, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. You saw a ball thrown up in the air, just a loose ball basically, and you went to go try to get it. You're fine, dude. You didn't do anything wrong. And that old man's standing right there when I said it. I said, sit down for just a minute. I was bringing you out because you were getting tired. You go back in a minute. I know that he was already irritated because of that conversation, which is fine. I get it, but don't come. He's running at me to tell me he's got to sit down. So same kid, because he's got no body control. He doesn't. And he's a football player, and he reaches all the time, fouls out. Okay. So they go to shoot free throws. And I was like, hold on. Come here, boys. Come here, real quick. Listen. And he goes, oh, well, no, you got to get in here. I say, hey, I get 30 seconds to replace a player. And all of a sudden, he fast walks at me. You get the time I give you. You better have kids in here right now or else he's shooting. And I'm like, I get time. I get 30 seconds to replace a kid. No, you do not. He's fast walking at me. I'm like, this 7-year-old man's coming over to beat me up. I thought a 7-year-old man was going to come beat me up. I was like, whoa. It's okay. Okay. And then our coordinator had a game after us. He goes on the floor. No, and he's screaming. I'm like, whoa, hold on now. We don't need a technical from you. Sit down, yeah. Sit down. I thought this old man was going to come beat me up because I asked for time, my 30 seconds, when a player got off. Because I wanted to, first off, figure out who I'm going to put in. And second off, I want to, I get 30 seconds. I'm going to take a quick little breather, set these kids up. There's a minute and a half left in the game. Mm-hmm. We're up by 3. Like, hold on, let's figure out what we're doing here. He was so mad at me. I don't understand why referees got to be like that.
Yeah, they're supposed to. That's why I've been really into listening to like some podcasts and stuff on like NBA and college officials because it's a big deal, especially in the NBA when you have players and coaches and everybody are unhappy with every single call you make. Mm-hmm. And so there's constantly conversation. Mm-hmm. You're constantly getting berated all the time.
It's got to be hard.
Told you're wrong.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's really fun to listen to the interactions anytime anybody's mic'd up. I love that stuff,
Yeah.
and listen to like stories that people tell, like officials tell about different things like that. And it amazes me, especially in the NBA. Like those are usually like elite level
Yeah.
demeanors. Like
Yeah.
those guys have to and girls have to be able to take a lot and let a lot of
Mm-hmm.
it go.
Mm-hmm.
And like they barely move their arms, their
Mm-hmm.
heads. You barely see
You'll get a
any
little shake of the head when
body.
somebody's arguing with them, and they're just like, nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope.
You barely see
Mm-hmm.
any like body
Mm-hmm.
movement when they're talking to anybody. It's like
And
that's
I love that. And then and now they can challenge almost anything.
Mhm.
And I love when they lose the challenge. I'm like, that's not a foul. That's not a foul. That's not a foul. And they challenge the foul and they come back and they're like, we put this thing in slow mo and my eyes were right. So yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not as bad as I guess I was I?
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, I try to, umpires and referees, I try to befriend them throughout the entire game. If he's running up and down, he's doing something, I'll joke. I'm like, man, he walked. Like he took 4 steps. Like that's not even close. I'll be like, man, you saw that pivot foot move like 4 or 5 inches. Like that thing was dragging. That's a walk, right? And I'm just joking. I'm like, but I get it. I get it. It's tough to see. I know it, whatever. But I'm always in a smiling, joking, and they're usually smiling back. I love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
But but when that bad one comes, and it's like some of them, I think it's once they're there, and it's because of one person, they are like you said, laser. Like I was laser focused. He was going to give a technical to somebody,
Yep.
and I hate that. I feel bad about. It. I feel bad for. I get everybody comes and everybody's got
They're
lives and
they're I was gonna
everything,
say
but
they're human
mm-hmm,
beings, and these guys aren't doing this for a living. These guys are all.
no,
This is a
they're
supplemental
making
income thing.
$35 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't even like they're killing it.
Yeah. It's yeah. They have lots of other things going on before and after that, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, in the NBA, that's your job.
Yep.
And so it's, yeah, you have just very regular people that are coming in from whatever,
Yeah.
and
And a lot of them are old. A lot of them
yeah,
shouldn't be doing it, but
that's right.
it's hard to get officials and referees and stuff. That's why you see a lot of the same ones everywhere.
Yeah. But this guy that gave me that technical, I'm like, you can't, if you're that sensitive, you can't be officiating. You
No.
can't do it. And
Like how is this every I'd be like, is this every game for you or did something happen? Like I get it. It's cool, man. Is this ever like this can't be every game for you, right? That's crazy. I love that Adam Schmidt got a technical.
I can't
Adam
believe it.
Schmidt got a technical. He's about to stand up on a stage and do stand-up comedy. I don't even know you anymore.
I don't know myself.
This is crazy.
So yeah, then all the parents are after the game. A lot of times I don't stick around and
Hmm.
chat and stuff. I go, but
And then you want to make sure that you get a little an apology, explain yourself and all that.
yeah, well, I didn't even have to, like, I didn't even get a chance. Like, I'm walking like toward the door, but I'm walking like
Yeah.
through the parent, and right away they're like, "What did you say? What happened on that?"
Yeah.
I was confused. Like,
Yeah.
and the one kid's dad, they was always yelling at everybody, coaching from the sideline. He's like puts his arm around me. He's like, "What was the magic word?" There wasn't one. I didn't say it. I didn't say anything that I should have gotten a technical
Yeah.
for at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was yeah, that was crazy. I'm still I'll tell you what, we had
Those
yeah, that
those
was
situations, I get that. I've had stories on this podcast where I've had umpires that like ruined my day
yeah.
because they either gave me a bench warning where I cannot come off the bench or like I've done stupid things where my dad got kicked out of a game when it should have definitely been me that got
I
kicked
remember
out.
that.
But it's but I those you never forget them and like some people like wear them as a badge of honor.
Oh,
For me,
no,
it's
I'm
like
embarrassed.
I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I let that happen.
Yeah.
I can't believe I let that happen.
Hmm.
I can't believe I let him get me there and all these kids had to see that.
Yeah.
That's where I feel so bad about that
Yeah.
stuff.
I felt like I messed up, but it was like I should that shouldn't have happened. Like he could have given me a warning. He should have given me a warning, or the bench or whatever, our coach, whatever.
Yeah.
Something he could have stopped the game and just said, "That's enough. I don't want to hear one more word, whether it's a warning or not, to the table, whatever." But just like stop it, be serious,
Hmm.
instead of you just like looking for the next person to say something and you can't wait to fire back, whatever
Yeah.
it is. I just received the the worst of that for somehow. So anyway, I was, and then thank God, because I'm telling you, I was a wreck after that. I was
Yeah. I
devastated
get it. Yeah.
after that
You feel
game.
like you lost the game from the bench.
I do.
There's nothing worse than being a coach and any game, any being involved in any game that's not decided by the kids.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. And you can always go back. We missed
100%.
8 free
Sure. But
throws
that's
and
every
we
game. But that's
right.
every game.
Right, right, right.
That's a big situation.
You can
Like,
still right, but you can still make a list of 30 things that you can say if this would have happened,
sure.
we wouldn't have been even in that situation. Anyway, thank God that Elder had a game against a team from Florida, so it was like a weird time. So it worked out perfect where I left that game, went right to Elder's game. Worked like I got there like 5 minutes before they started.
Mm-hmm.
I got to watch that entire game, get to our next game that night after that, and be there a little early
Mm-hmm.
and kind of sit and then we played pretty well and won that second game.
Nah.
If that didn't happen,
It'd be the worst thing in the world.
the
Yeah.
whole weekend would have been
Yes.
completely
Yep.
ruined. I
Yep.
would still be like really upset
Mm-hmm.
about it, but anyway, I got past it. Thank God for the kids playing well in that second game, and Elder ended up winning that game and whatever. But yes. And then I went home and I still even after that win, I still had to cheer myself up. So I watched about 45 50 episodes of Between Two Ferns, and that got
It's not
me.
hard to do.
Yeah, I mean that made it better because Zach Galifianakis makes me laugh every single time I see him do anything.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. Unbelievable. This show, so we'll go to our, that's a great segue into our Mount Rushmore of uh, Between Two Ferns episodes.
Yeah,
Guess, I guess we should
interviews,
say.
yeah, whatever.
Interviews,
Yeah,
whatever. Um, so we didn't do this last week because I didn't get a chance to watch as many as I wanted to.
there was a lot of research involved in this.
There's a
Mount
lot,
Rushmore.
dude.
Yeah,
Did a lot of these.
yeah.
A lot.
Hmm.
There were some that definitely stood out. There was quite a few that stood out. I did a lot of, I mean, I tried to find like the individual seasons. That was hard to do.
Yeah,
It's hard to find the individual seasons of it. And they're 5 minutes long, right? They're
yeah.
not long. So I did a lot of like best of, I was doing best of and I'm like, man, there's only four of them on this 20-minute thing. I feel like that should have just been one. So I'm like searching through and I'm like, oh wait, no, that's how these are. I didn't realize that. Like I
Mhm.
said, I've only always just seen clips. I didn't realize that's what they were just clips.
Yeah, pretty much.
But uh there was a lot of best ofs and things like that, and I got to see a good amount. I watched half the movie, and I didn't get to finish the movie, but I did get to see half the movie. I tell you, I was kind of excited when I started it. I thought it was just going to be an hour and 20 minutes of individual interviews. I
I was
was a
disappointed in the
little
movie.
disappointed
Yeah, I was too.
at that.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Ferrell was still pretty good in it and all that, but that was the one where I was like, man, I was excited. And then when it was a lot of storyline, I'm like, to be honest, when I stopped watching it, I had turned it off, so I had a meeting and I never started back up. But it was right when Will Ferrell told him he needed to have 10 interviews in whatever 2 days or something like that. He had
Yeah.
it to, and I was like, well, I probably missed the best part of this whole thing because I didn't get to see anything. But I'm sure I saw the interviews on all the best ofs and all that.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead and get started, bud. What do you got?
So I'm putting the Barack Obama one on there.
How difficult do you think it would be to be in the presence of like a Barack Obama or a Hillary Clinton? I
Mhm.
don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, because if you watch these, Zach Galifianakis has to do these interviews like he doesn't care.
Yeah. Like he doesn't like them.
How difficult would that be?
I've seen Zach do a couple interviews about this Barack Obama one
Yeah.
and talked about how he couldn't believe because they had to submit all the questions ahead of
Oh,
time and get
absolutely.
them approved,
Yeah.
and he couldn't believe that they let him ask the question, "How does it feel to be the last black
Last
president?"
black president. That's like the Hillary Clinton question where he's like, so there's a lot of people that are going to know you as the first ever white president. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is amazing that they would let that go through.
Um, let's see. Oh, yes. He asked Barack Obama, which country were you rooting for in the Winter Olympics?
So I got like, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a lot of little like when I was watching some of these, especially with those two, the that with Hillary and Barack, where it was like, ooh, ooh, like they're legit digs on things that are put on them all the time.
Yeah.
And like just look seriously,
Yeah.
I'm the president of the United States. It's like, but that's a dig on like a couple of them. I watched a couple the different times because they're on different best ofs. And well, some of them I fast forward through. Some of them, oh, he actually said that.
Yeah.
Like the the Bruce Willis one. Bruce Willis one. Oh no, not Bruce Willis. It was which one was it? Oh, it was Brad Pitt. And he was like, so how was it with you and Angelina? Was it kind of like Rachel and
Ross.
Ross for, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny question. I was like, oh, he was married to Jennifer Aniston first. Like it took me a second. Like that's such good comedy. That is so good.
Yeah.
That is so good. God, that is so good.
Yeah. He said something Barack Obama about something like um are you afraid that when you leave the office people are going to stop letting you win at basketball or something like that?
Because you're a nerd. Do
Yeah.
you think Michelle Obama married a nerd?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I talk to her? I'm not letting you talk to her.
Yeah, so I especially really just for the question about being the last black
Black
president,
president.
I was like, God, that's
Yeah.
crazy that he was able to ask him that, and Barack Obama knew what the whole
But
thing was about.
again, that's like the Hillary Clinton one. When at the very end, he's like, "Oh, can I email you?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am yeah. Some of these I really just put them on here for like one question or one joke.
That's so. When we went into this, I talked about the Jennifer Lawrence question
Mhm.
because I like that was, but like I said, I've only heard just little bits and pieces of this before, but they're all always funny, and I love that one, the off-putting and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was part of a longer episode. She was on there for like 35 seconds.
yeah. Did you? Was she the
Now
one?
she was on she was on one of the Oscar specials.
Yeah, okay. Was she the one? He asked somebody, one of the ladies. Well, one of the questions was, now your parents got divorced when you were 5. Was that your fault?
I don't
And
know
then
if that was her or not.
and then he asked another girl, like, I've heard you don't like to answer personal questions in interviews. This is a two-parter. Uh, how old were you when you so I forget something, and then
When you
how
got
old
your
were you
first
when you got your
period.
first period? Yeah. Oh my God. But anyway, okay. So Barack Obama, I'm putting Ben Stiller on there. Um, he said, guess what I had for breakfast? And he said egg yellows.
I did say that too.
And then the biggest joke on there was Ben Stiller's email that Zach's email.
Yeah.
Zach, he's like, can you get me a role in your movie? And they went
Yeah.
back and forth about that. And he's like, he said something like, I'll have somebody email you or something. So he wrote it down on a piece of paper. He said, don't be off put by this. This was before I knew you. And he gave it to him and he read it out loud. And it was something really nasty about Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
And so that was that was really funny. Um, the Sean Penn episode,
Mm.
not only because Zach did it as the
Oh my
character of his
God.
brother Seth.
Yeah, his twin brother Seth.
It's the
Oh
funniest.
my
It's one of
God.
my favorite characters I've ever seen on TV. Zach did it in like one of his DVDs. that he released a long, long time ago for like his stand-up DVDs. He had uh like extra stuff in it or
Mhm.
whatever, and he did like some interviews as his brother Seth, and he's got that voice, and he like it just
Perfect deep South, deep Southern
yeah,
accent.
yeah.
It's awesome.
It's like a, you know, like a pretty feminine
Yes,
Southern
definitely got a
guy, and
lisp.
he
Got a little lisp on him.
and he just
Yeah.
says like really just off the wall stuff as that guy. It makes Seth Galifianakis makes me laugh
Yes.
every single time I see him. So I put that on there. Sean Penn is like a horrible guest, but that one I just
How
love
about I
because of
knock
that.
you out sitting in that chair right now?
And I've heard Zach do interviews talking about that one. He's like the only one that I really wasn't sure about whether it was real or not was Sean Penn. Like he like I said some things, and the way he like looked at me or
Hmm.
reacted, I was like, oh, should I like is this are we joking still or
Yeah.
so anyway.
And he's got to play through it.
Yes. Yes. So okay, so just for the Seth Galifianakis thing on Sean Penn, and then Will Ferrell, I got to put. I
Oh
mean,
my
those two are like the
God.
comedy dream team to me.
The strawberries.
Yeah.
The strawberries is the
He
craziest.
starts with the cherry. He puts it in his
Yeah.
mouth. He's like, "Is that not the nicest cherry?"
Oh.
Zach starts shoving.
And then he goes in to eat them out of his mouth.
Yeah, yeah. And he's
Oh.
like, "You mind if we stop for a sponsor?" And they wheel the deodorant down. He's like, he's like, "Men in speed stick." Just that, just the seriousness of that was so funny. Oh my
How many
god.
takes do you think it takes on this? I mean, that's got. I would love to see an outtake.
They have them on there.
Oh, do they?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't see any
yeah.
outtakes. I got to see, and
Yeah, you can
I'm gonna have
find
to
them.
look that one up and see the outtakes.
They're so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. So
That's good.
anyway, I've got Barack Obama, Ben Stiller, Sean Penn, and Will Ferrell.
No,
Those
that's good.
episodes. Yeah.
So I loved the Brad Pitt one. The
Yeah.
Brad Pitt one
It's
cracked me
great.
up. When Brad Pitt puts that piece of gum in his mouth, chews on it, coughs. Galifianakis picks it up, puts it in his mouth, and he goes, "That was my last piece." And in mid sentence, takes it out, puts it on the table, and Brad Pitt picks it up and puts it back in his mouth. I could not stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. That's the great. I've heard a lot of good stories about him. I heard that Brad Pitt is hilarious and like is totally up for whatever.
Yeah.
I've always heard really cool things about, but I'm like, that's hilarious.
It was really
And
funny.
he pulled in so many good uh uh jokes about what did he say? He said, "How does it feel to have a wife that upstages you all the time," or something like that. Or he's like, "That happened with me before," and he starts going. God, I don't know. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yep.
Um,
Bradley Pitts.
Bradley Pitts. I'm gonna tell you the Bradley Cooper ones. He did one with the Oscars, and he did one on its own. Those, I mean, you could like some of them. They really do a good job of making some of them like, oh, that, like I feel like that's like a real interaction. Like the people that are really like irritated by him, they're doing a really good job of being irritated. Like
Yeah.
that's awesome. Like they did a good job of coming in acting like they had no idea what was going on. Obviously, everybody knows what they're getting into when
Yeah.
they go there, but there's some that are good. The ones with Bradley Cooper are like, I this is 100% staged, obviously,
Mhm.
but they were still really funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know how Zach Galifianakis is okay from when he threw the fern down, unless they like rolled him out. Because if he threw it down, even if it was just next to him, that had to explode everywhere. It sounded like it did.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's funny. And then that's the one in the Oscars one. And then they come like they go away and it says between two ferns. It was the last interview, and it comes right back, and the girl that he was talking to before that walks by him. He's starting to get up, and she pushes it back down. How's
Yeah.
it going? Um, the first Oscars one had Jennifer Lawrence in it. That's my heard you were in the Hunger Games. It's the story of your life, isn't it? Don't say that. That's off-putting. You should be off-putting.
Yeah.
It's because you're fat. You should stop eating pudding.
He's like, yeah, I got it.
The Steve Carell one
Yes.
was really good. Steve Carell just like boom and just steps in and starts going in on Galifianakis. I know how this goes. He's like, I actually was going to do a nice interview this whole time. And then he says something nice a couple seconds and then right into Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Uh, when you go to the beach You go swim in the ocean and everybody yells shark, but it's just you doing the backstroke. That was good.
When you go out, when you go swimming and you go out past the buoys, do people think there's an island?
That was his response. Oh, that's so good. Dude, oh my gosh, so hard. The Seinfeld one was good.
Yes. And he
Uh,
got he treated Cardi B way better than
oh my
America.
God. The best was at the very end. And I'm gonna put Seinfeld on mine.
Okay.
Number one, because I love Cardi B. Like, she's one of my favorite rappers and person. Like,
Okay.
she is 100%, 100% herself, and she don't care what's going on. She's gonna say what she says, and she don't care. I love that. Love it, and to a funny extent, not to some psycho kind of extent, funny extent. But at the very end of it, when he goes to like he doesn't know to like hug her or whatever, he just walks by, and he goes, well, "That's the complete opposite of the Kesha incident." You ever seen the Kesha thing
Yeah, I
when
think
she
so.
walks up to Jerry Seinfeld at
Yes,
a
yes,
award
yes.
show? And she's like, Kesha's like, "Oh my God, I love you," and he's like, "Oh, okay." It's because she comes running out of nowhere, and she goes, "Can I hug you?" And he's like, "I'd rather not."
Yeah.
And it went viral because she's like freaking out because she got to see Seinfeld, and he's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
And then so in that
Jerry's
episode,
Jerry's kind of a curmudgeon.
yeah, and in that episode, he's like, "Well, that's the complete opposite of the Kesha one." I'll put him on that. That was really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Hold on. Cardi B, Zachy G, Jerry J.
Jerry J. What's Jerry J? Jerry Jew.
Yeah. What's the J?
What's the
Ju-
J? Jew. Oh my God. Oh, look, you got me a present.
Yeah.
You can get a present. That's good. That's like so he did the same thing with Jennifer Aniston. He
Yes.
starts interviewing Tila Tequila, I think is her
Yeah.
name,
Yeah.
and talking to her. He's like, "Oh, and his Jennifer Aniston is our next guest," and sit down, and just starts talking to Tequila right away. She's like, should I just go? It's like, "Oh no, we got another question for you." So Tila, Mm,
Oh,
that was a good one. Um, I liked the Oscar one that had Jennifer Lawrence and it had Anne Hathaway drunk.
yeah.
That's all one episode. And I don't know who the guy at the end was, but it's Christoph something.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And he
yeah,
starts it off where he's like, "Don't worry, I won't say anything about your Mein Kampf tattoo."
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you say the N word more in Django in Chains or more in real life? And the guy's like, "Oh, real life."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that dude was good. That dude was so good. And the lady comes in and he's all excited to be walked off. "Hey, where have you been?" I'm gonna say the first Oscars episode.
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence, Anne Hathaway, that guy. I think that's the one that also had Sally Fields on it. I think those were the
Oh.
four that did that quick little interview. That was a good one. Uh, so I'll go that one. Seinfeld, Brad Pitt, and the Will Ferrell one is that might be my favorite one.
Yeah.
Might be my favorite one.
Yeah, me too.
I really would have liked to see a full Peter Dinklage one if it wasn't interrupted by the stupidity of that movie.
Yeah. 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 Peter Dinklage is really good too. He's funny
Peter Dinklage
and
is awesome.
yeah, in interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, good. Good. That was fun. I'm glad I got to go back and watch all those.
Keanu Reeves was another good one.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves was a really good one.
Yes.
So would you just, how many words would you say you know? 50, 75, 100?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys like Bradley Cooper, the Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
That was really good. It's nice to see you with your shirt on.
Yeah. I noticed you have a shirt on. Is everything okay?
He goes, "All right, all right, all right." Oh, sorry. That I was just reading the reviews of your last three movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. Yeah, I guess all right. All right.
Oh,
Oh, I might want to put in the McConaughey one was in the movie.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I could take Brad Pitt out and go. No, I'm sticking with it. I like the Pitt one. That was a good
It
one.
was a good one.
Yeah. So I'll go.
I didn't see any of them where I was like, eh.
No, there's not a single one. And that's another one. The Hillary Clinton one could easily be on there. When he hits the button and plays the Trump commercial.
I know.
Oh my God, that's great. And it's in the middle of the presidential race. That's awesome. She had to agree to that. She had to agree to go on there, do that, and let them play that commercial, which was probably the least offensive commercial that he made. Like they could have put a way worse one on there and made at least made Trump look like a ding dong. They put just a halfway normal one on there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Very funny.
There are many people that are living today that for you, you would be the first ever white president. How does that make you feel? I bet. So I didn't realize that was a big thing with the Barack Obama one. How does it feel to be the last black president? Um, that had to be a part of that took place. That had to take place to ask that question to Hillary Clinton when she's running later, right? Like that had to be in his head
Oh, sure, yeah.
because of the fact that he was able to say that. He's like, well, I'm going to say, hey, I asked this to Barack. Can I ask this to you?
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Good,
well,
good.
between two ferns, that was fun. What
Good.
did I write anything out?
Good little day. Hey.
Nope. I got everything I wrote. Oh no, the Conan O'Brien and Andy Richter one. I wrote that one down just because I love those guys.
I love those guys, but I really thought that like it was good. Don't get me wrong, that was good. Conan O'Brien just sits on the ground. That's hilarious.
Somebody else came in and did that one, right? I can't
Yeah.
remember who it was, but
I don't remember who it was either.
Yeah.
I mean, he just sat on the ground. But and he gets some like legit top level A-list, like the best of the best are all on there. So that was really good. But no, Conan O'Brien, Andy Dick. Andy Dick's the one that came in that. Yeah. Was the one that interrupted that one. That was good. But no, I thought that one was gonna be better, just Conan O'Brien, but it was a lot of Conan, like they were making fun of Conan O'Brien for not having funny jokes. Oh, that was the other part about the Brad Pitt one that I loved. Brad Pitt's there, and he's like, "Hold on a second, we're gonna have," and it says Louis C.K. comes in and does a little like 30-second thing. Oh, I was cracking up.
Yeah,
that was good. Brad Pitt's got his head in the fern, like leaning back way far, so he's in the fern. So good.
Yeah,
he's like, who is this guy? He's Benjamin Button. Look, he's the reverse Benjamin Buttons. He's what did he say? Did he play in it? Louis C.K.'s like, was he in it? Galifianakis, yeah, this is Benji's button. Benny's button. Oh, funny.
All right. Well, we got to go from one really, really funny guy and funny show to another
really, really funny guy, funny show.
Your friend Nate Bargatze.
I love Nate Bargatze. I'll go with him. Please. So there were two jokes that I knew. What were they? Now I can't remember. It was not the very last one, but it was the two right before it. We've heard before when I went with you. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Listen, here's the thing. It started off kind of slow for me. I was like, man, like I still laughed when the jokes came, but it almost felt like I don't know if he had an hour. There was a lot more pauses than normal. But that's just who he is. When he starts getting into it, I cannot stop laughing. Like I can't stop laughing at him. And it's him. Anybody could tell these jokes. Anybody. And they'd just be whatever. Like, you know what's coming. I knew what was coming with the whole fight thing and the laundry and all that. We knew how that joke was going to end. And I still laughed. He has one of the best deliveries in comedy. I think his delivery is as good as anybody in comedy.
Yeah.
As good as anybody.
I agree with you.
Because even though I don't think this was his best special, in the beginning, I'm like, oh man, I don't know where this is gonna go here. I could go either way right now. Like I laughed. I feel like in the first 20 minutes, I was like, uh-oh, I have not laughed as much. Maybe I started thinking in my head, is this one where I got myself way high for it? Like it's Nate's on. And I'm like, oh. and the next 40 minutes blew my head off. Although the not blew my head off, but the fact that the crowd was so happy that he brought back the not on my watch when he's talking about
Yeah.
the poisoning
The
the water.
water. Yeah.
They were so that's the biggest applause I've ever heard for somebody bringing a joke back. I was like, okay, tone that down a little bit there, guys. That wasn't that great. That was really easy right there. Come on, bring that down. But yeah, when he said you talking about you got to bring it back. It's not easy to get a what was it? What kind of joke was it? He said you got to start. It doesn't matter. I can't remember what it was. A lot of good
Yeah.
stuff. Anyway, a lot of good stuff. If you listen, Nate Bargatze is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Okay, he is right now top 5 comedian doing comedy right now. You could probably put him higher than that. He did so. Golden Globes were this past weekend,
Mhm.
and Nikki Glazer hosted the Golden Globes. First off, and she's so like she's made for doing that
Yeah.
roast kind of things and saying she did a great job of not going too far, but going far enough. Like,
Mhm.
ooh, yeah, that was it. Yes, perfectly. I have been watching her on Sunday Night Football after the game. She's been doing every Sunday Night Football after every game and does a like 3 minutes on the whole Sunday of football. So she had to write it all there. And it's real talk. I mean, it's real stuff. Like it's real football things that she's talking about. And
Wow.
just does 3 minutes on Sunday night and she says stuff like, what's his name? Richard Sherman. They show him every week. And he's like she's saying that, oh my God, like he's going bananas because she doesn't care. She talks about anybody. So anyway, she's doing the Golden Globes. He comes up to present at the Golden Globes. I just for like I watched maybe 10 minutes of the Golden Globes, but I see him come up to present and he's presenting best comedy special of the year. Okay.
Mhm.
So he's talking about this parrot thing or whatever, and he's like, "I'm here to present the best comedy special that I'm not even on thing on," and I'm like, "That's the truth. How is Nate Bargatze not on this list?" And the list, Jamie Foxx was on there, Ali Wong was on there,
Mhm.
Nikki Glazer, of course, was on there. Um, I think Ricky Gervais, his was on there that we watched. Was that this year?
I feel like that was
I feel like it
last
was too, but I thought it was
2023.
maybe it
I
wasn't.
don't know.
Anyway, whatever it was, I was like, "What?" And I looked at Aaron and I was like, out of all those, first off, those aren't even the best ones that have been out. That not even close to the best specials. So
Yeah.
the Jimmy Fox special was just like a it just like made you cry. Like that wasn't even comedy. That's not even a comedy special. Like that
Right.
doesn't count. So I was like, out of those, I bet they have Ali Wong win this. I'm just telling out of those, I'd pick the Ali Wong one, and I didn't even really like the Ali Wong one. And they call Ali Wong up, and she's like, "Y'all watch too much comedy."
Ali Wong said that.
No,
Nikki said that.
Aaron said, I was talking to my
Oh,
wife. I was
Aaron
talking to
said
my
that.
wife.
Oh, oh,
I was
oh,
telling her, I was like, "This is crazy. I can't believe this. How could it?" Yeah, I was like, Ali. Out of these though, Ali Wong's gonna be the one who wins, and I don't even like that one, but that's the one I would take. And
oh.
they announce Ali Wong, and she's like, "You watch too much comedy."
You're right. Oh my God.
I was so mad. I'm like, "How is Nate Bargatze not on that list? He could have had 2 specials on there." Dang
Yeah.
it.
Uh, I turned it on for maybe 15 minutes or something like that, the
Mhm.
Golden Globes, just because Nikki was on there.
Mhm.
I was just gonna see what she was doing. But then yeah, I think it went to commercial at some point and I turned away
That's the
from it,
end of
didn't
it.
go back. Yeah.
Golden Globe. I don't know. That might be the first time I've watched the Golden Globes.
Yeah,
I
probably
didn't
for me
realize
too.
how intimate a thing that was.
Oh,
It was a very small group of people in there.
oh, really?
I bet
I
there
don't
was
even
I
pay
bet there
attention.
was less than 200 people in that room. Probably not, but did not feel like a lot of people in that room.
Yeah.
And then they would keep talking to him. And I can't remember who it was. He was like, "This is an awkward." Oh, it was Pineapple Express. What's that? Who's the guy? What's the guy's name?
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. He's like, "First off, I just want to say that this is an incredibly awkward angle. I feel like I got my back to everybody over here, even though there's nobody right here. We had to put a camera on the side, but okay, I'm okay right now." But every time they do it, people are walking back and forth to their seats behind the person talking, and you can see them
Oh,
all, like Ariana Grande was in the front because of Wicked. So she's constantly walking back and forth and everything and like trying to stay low. And like girls are like holding their chest because they're trying to duck, like, because you know, all those dresses will show whatever, like they're
Yeah.
crazy as dresses. I was like, man, this is the weirdest
I didn't even notice
thing
all
I've
of that.
ever watched in my entire life. So weird.
Huh. Um,
Anyway,
okay.
so what did you rate it? Or I went first. I'll go first.
Yeah, yeah. I wrote mine down, but
Did
I
you
was like,
talk about you already talked about it, right? No, you didn't talk about it at all.
I didn't. This was the first joke. Whatever's first joke was.
The one with the
I
lantern. Was that the first joke? The water meter joke?
No, I don't think so.
That wasn't the first joke?
I don't. That was probably the best joke I think in the whole thing. No,
I thought the lantern was the first joke because I was like, this took a long time, and I did
I
laugh, but
thought
I was like, this, you're
I thought he
it couldn't
did
have been the
the.
first one because 20 minutes in is when heard myself laugh at the lantern joke, and I was like, uh-oh, I feel like I have not laughed that much, and just noticed that I've been watching for 20 minutes, so that definitely was not the first.
I feel like. Uh, I feel like the laundry joke was really early.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was first or not. Anyway, um, whatever the first joke was, I was like, oh God, I like that a lot. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm gonna write that one down to talk about. Second joke, I was like, oh my God, I'm
These are the
writing that
best.
one
It's
down.
the best when you stop.
Third one, yeah, and then so I just didn't write anything down.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought just about every single joke was fantastic. You're right. He's very slow delivery, but that's kind of like I think what makes part of what makes him so good.
Absolutely.
You know, um,
He takes a dramatic pause and holds it
yeah,
a little longer, but not too long. It's never too long.
I agree.
It's just right. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. That's for sure.
So good. And if you've got a wife or had a girlfriend or anything, like the marriage stuff and the girlfriends, those things are always so good because
Yeah,
he's like, look, I'm an idiot. Here's the deal. Okay. I mean, it just, and when he just goes, and it's just, honestly, I just am. It just is what it is. And I feel like words, and it's like the little stuff that oh my God, I'm cracking up laughing.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I interrupt you more than you deserve.
I don't even notice.
I'm sure because it's happened for 7 years now.
No. Okay. Do you want to rate it, or do you want me to rate it first?
All right, I'm gonna go. I believe I've rated him pretty high in the past.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I've ever got to like a 5 or 4.9, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 4. It's definitely over 4. Somewhere between like a 4.4 and a 4.7. So we'll say 4.5, 4.5. We'll go 4.5. 4.6. We'll go 4.
4.55.
4.55. I'll go 4.6. Round it up. 4.6.
Okay, that's higher than I thought you were going to go when you first started talking about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, hold on," and then, like I said, I was. I mean, I watched it while I was driving, so you know how that goes.
Mhm.
But like all of a sudden, I realized, oh my God, I've been laughing this entire time I've been watching this.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I'll watch a comedy special and I'll laugh twice, and that's a 3 something. That's a good score, right? You
Sure.
still did good. I constantly laugh out loud. If I'm laughing out loud the whole time, that's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe in the first 20 minutes I laughed out loud twice, but for the next 40, I laughed out loud for 40 minutes.
Good. Good. Yep. I thought the whole thing was really really funny. I went 4.7.
Oh yeah, we're perfect. That's
Yeah.
right on. Yeah, 4.6, 4.7.
Yep.
That's right. That sounds right.
I
That's how good this was.
Yeah.
This is
When
unbelievable.
I was writing 4.7 down, I'm like, I never give anything a
No.
4.7. That's too high. I can't right. I can't do it. I wrote down 4.7. I'm like, By the way, I watched it today. Was the second time I watched it because the day it came
Mhm.
out, I watched it, and I was like, this is just one that I'm not going to wait on. We'll
We're gonna
definitely do it, and
but
I'll do it, and then I'll watch it again. I I enjoyed it even more and laughed even more the second time I watched it, which is very hard to do.
that is hard to do with a comedy special when
Yeah.
you know. That's what I'm saying. You can know they're coming. I know the punchline for a lot of his jokes. You know it's coming, where it's coming, but it's still there. You know, he's like, and then I said, well, I do my own laundry. And that started a whole nother fight. Like we all knew that was going to start a whole nother fight, but you just start laughing immediately at it. I don't know. It's something about his delivery that is fantastic, fantastic.
Yes.
There's a guy I've been watching on like he's on I don't know what you call those things, the talk tick reel things or whatever,
Okay.
and they're just little short things. And he's a clean guy, uh, but he's like rugged, like "Huh, in the '90s we did this, and I don't know what kids are these days. I gotta find who this dude is because I want to see a special by him.
Oh,
He kind of like his jokes kind of remind me a little bit of Bargatze.
huh. Interesting.
Anyway, go ahead. What is your what is your comedy going to be for next week?
Um, I'm down to two. Uh, uh, let's go with okay. We're gonna do a guy that if you love filthy comedy by a filthy
Here
guy,
we go.
let's do Doug Stanhope.
Love it.
Doug Stanhope. This was from sometime in 2024. It was in the second part of 2024. I'm pretty sure, and
Okay.
so I'm pretty sure we did not do this. Called Discount Meat. Does that sound familiar?
I don't know. Maybe.
I might have even watched this when it came out, but it's been out for I don't know, a little while. And yeah, he's an older comic and he's a lot of comics talk about how much they like him, but he's not like the most household name because he is like filthy.
Sure.
He's
Yep.
yeah, he'll do whatever. But yeah, it's on YouTube. Doug Stanhope, Discount Meat.
Love it.
By the way, if you're willing to pay for a comedy special right now, my instructor for this comedy class
Here we go. Let's go.
2 days ago had his very first special come out.
Nice.
It's called Sugar Glider.
Sugar glider.
Tim Loulies, Loulies. You can get it on Amazon Prime. It's like $5 to rent or $13 to buy or whatever. I'm sure if you wait long enough, that it'll come out for free somewhere. But
Oh yeah.
it's on a bunch of different things. But yeah, you can get it on there just for people listening if you want to watch. I watched it today. It's very, very good. So please, if you're willing to do that, check it out.
So that's good. So the guy that's teaching you how to do comedy at least is pretty good at it.
He's good. Yes.
Okay. That's
Yes.
good to hear.
Yeah, you can tell he's been doing it a while. He knows what he's doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't find this guy. I was trying to tell you. I just started flashing through it, and then I saw something with Bert Kreischer and a couple other guys, and I copied it and sent it to myself. I'm never gonna find. Cause you know how that works. We're like, oh, there he is. Boom! Look at that. You know this dude?
Yes.
This dude is.
Derek Stroop. I think I saw him live.
This guy is hilarious.
I want to say he opened for Josh Blue
Oh, I
five,
could
six
see that.
years ago
I
or
could see
something.
that. This dude is good. Derek Stroop. I need to find this guy's. I'm gonna
I
copy
think
and
that
send
was
it
the
to him.
guy that pretended to yell at my girlfriend at the time when we were at that show. I'm sure I told you about that. You know, if you remember Sarah, but
That's
um,
weird because he doesn't
well,
all the little clips I have. There's no actually he'll talk to somebody sometimes and call them, but it's usually like a hipster looking person.
so this was he was opening. He was like the middle.
Mhm.
He was the feature, whatever. Um, and he was doing his thing. We were in the first row,
Mhm.
and we had eaten dinner there. She got a salad or something like that. So the bowl and the spoon were sitting there on the table. I guess close to it, close to the edge of the table or something. Because I think she just like raised her arm to scratch her head or something, and she hit the bowl on the table and made a loud noise while
Oh
he
boy.
was while he was telling a punchline of a joke. And and so he finishes the joke like a couple seconds later, and he comes over and he's like, "Who made the noise during my? Don't ever do." And he was
But
like,
he's just joking around.
"Yeah," but
Yeah.
he was like kind of
There's a little bit of serious to
trying to
it, but
be
yeah.
like, yeah, like almost a little intimidating. And
Yeah.
I knew in that moment what I should have done, and I didn't do it, which is probably why we're not together. I should have. So we were.
What should you have done in that case? I don't
So
even know.
no, he said something like, "Who did that?
Oh,
Who
God.
who made the noise?" Yes,
Just raise your
it
hand.
was
That was
her.
me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
should have taken it. But he said that as soon as he said that, we were sitting across from this couple that was their first comedy show ever, and
Oh boy.
they were a little rough around the edges.
Oh boy.
And immediately, so this guy is like saying stuff out loud during the show and stuff,
Uh,
and so he's
you're super comfortable there.
yeah. So he comes over. So that guy comes over. I think it was Derek Stroop. I'm not positive, but anyway, and he said that, and immediately that guy points at Sarah.
Oh.
Points at her. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And that's when I should have said, no, that was me, my bad, or whatever. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, chivalry's dead, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh gosh. That's
I'm
good.
just kidding.
That's good.
Okay, Doug Stanhope, discount meat. Buckle up.
All right, I like it. All right, I like it. And then let's go to
The Mount Rushmore of Doug Stanhope
Yeah.
jokes from his special
from his
discount
special. I
meat.
like that. That's a good one. Yeah. That's actually a good way to get me to write the jokes down. um, man, I'm gonna tell you what, bub. That you had a good one.
Oh, thanks.
That was a good one.
Thanks. Let it inspire you. What else you
Yeah.
want to check out like that?
I don't know if there's anything quite like that. First off,
It was really nice that the episodes are so short.
oh, that made it that was the best.
Yeah.
That was the best. That he can't do an interview like that too much longer.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Right.
You just can't.
It has to be short. You're
It
right.
gets so fake that it would be no good. It would be like the movie. It would end up
Yeah,
being a
yeah.
lot like the movie,
Yeah.
where Matthew McConaughey drowns and dies, and they got to bring him back to life.
That wasn't good.
You murderer. Well, almost a murderer. Um. Okay. I'm going to go with. We've done games. We've been to. We've done a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of things on this podcast. Um, and I think today I am going to go with the Mount Rushmore of who I don't know how to put this. Um, sleeping,
That sounds good.
sleeping, not apparatus like blanket, pillow, bed, you know.
Sleeping accessories or sleeping
Okay,
tools or sleeping.
sleeping accessories, and that can be like there's multiple types of pillows,
Yeah.
right? Lots of
Yeah.
different
Lots
pillows.
of different blankets.
Lots of different types of blankets. I mean, like,
Mattresses.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Mattress toppers. And
yeah.
all
Let's
kinds of
do.
things.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. I like it.
Sleeping apparatus.
That's very apparatus. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down exactly that way. All right.
God, I can't wait to hear how you spell that.
Sleeping.
You know, I got to go with the old slobber pillow, right? You remember that thing I
Yeah.
used
Oh
to
yeah.
have?
Oh yeah. I
That
remember
was
this. Slobber
that was
pillow.
white. So we got
That's
married.
number one.
We got married. We got married, and Aaron's like, I have to put. If that's gonna be on the bed, I have to put a
Four
a
pillowcases
pillowcase on it. And I was like, I can't put a pillowcase on it. I'll ruin the pillowcase. Look at this thing. Look how disgusting this is.
It'll poison the pillow.
Yeah, look how gross this is. You want your pillowcase to look like this is what your pillowcase would look like if you put it on. There's just random watermark because I slobbered like crazy, I guess. I don't know. I had that thing forever.
Slobber,
It
sweat.
was
Oh yeah.
brown with stains all over it. I'll never forget. I think we were married for probably 4 years. And it disappeared.
Oh.
It was gone.
Yeah.
I think she finally had enough of it. I
Good
think
for her.
what I think happened is she woke up one night and her head was on it and she probably threw up. That was so gross. I think it
And
was
the vomit on the pillow that she
Yeah.
threw up was the cleanest thing
the
on it.
cleanest thing on it. She said she was like, people are gonna come to the house, like, and we can show the, it's good. Okay, here's the bedroom. You can't have that pillow on the bed. Like, you got to have 50 pillows. I was like, just put it underneath all of them. Then the pillows will touch it. That was the grossest thing in the world. I loved that. I had that for a long time, man. That was a slobber pillow was awesome.
You should have burned it and put the ashes like in an urn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would have been
Put it on
good.
the mantle. Or
I would have been in for that. I probably would have got rid of it if I got to do that. That would have been a lot of fun. that was a rough one, man. That was a rough one. And now it's like because that used to be like a pretty fluffy pillow.
Mhm.
But you know, pillows just get hard after a while, right? And that thing was hard, like not hard as a rock, not hard, but well, when you have them that long and they're like, and the pillowing inside is mixed with water from your saliva and sweat,
It's
it just
solidified.
kind of solidifies. Not hard, but you know, like the pill, it's almost like the pillows you have now, like the memory foam, right? They're not hard,
Yeah, yeah.
they're soft, but they're hard,
Exactly
right?
what I'm using right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So they're soft, but they're hard. That's kind of,
Yeah.
I had like the first memory foam pillow.
you
I designed it.
you were the inventor of the memory foam.
15 years of slobber.
Oh God. Oy.
Ugh, such a gross thing. I took that everywhere too.
Sleeping apparatus. I love that.
Hmm. There you go. There you go.
All
All
right.
right, there you go. So we got sleeping apparatus, Mount Rushmore, and we have what's
Doug
his name?
Stanhope.
Doug Stanhope. Name does sound familiar.
You'll recognize him.
Oh yeah.
when you
Oh yeah.
see him, yeah.
Especially because you said he's a real dirty guy. I'm starting to think I remember who this guy, because it's not somebody that I would think you would be into.
He did he co-hosted the first Man Show with Joe
Oh.
Rogan, right? Yeah, I think it was him and Joe Rogan were the first guy, and then Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel were the second guys, right?
I didn't know.
Or
Joe
maybe he was the
Rogan did
second.
Joe Rogan was
Wasn't
on.
he the
It had to
first?
be the second. The very first was Kimmel
In Corolla.
and Corolla.
Okay, then
That was
maybe they were the
that
second one.
was the Man Show when the Man Show came on.
Okay.
Girls jumping on trampolines.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Doug Stanhope, and I thought Joe Rogan did it for a little bit. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but
I
yeah.
only remember Corolla and Kimmel, but there definitely could have been one afterwards. I mean, absolutely. You know that Comedy Central was going to try to keep that going if they could.
Yeah.
But all right, so that's what we'll do next week. And until then, don't forget to turn your headlights on.